Hi, I'm standing up. I should be sitting down. Hold on, let's make ourselves comfortable. Hold, please. Okay, so hi, welcome back to another episode of Severino Snakes. Today, we are having another random episode day. So we're just gonna sit here and talk about whatever is talking on the screen. I don't know what I'm gonna say. Because let's be real, I blacked out the majority of the conversations I had in the past couple of months with my parents because none of them really mattered. Or they also were the most important conversations I've ever had. I'm not really sure. Remember, trigger warning: racism, homophobia, toxic masculinity, toxic household, toxic family, anxiety, depression, suicide, any of that. You name it, I got it. Some of those might not be in this episode, but those are the general themes of these episodes. I really like this hoodie up look. Wow. Wow, you really like to dance. Oh my god, I can't. Anyways, so we're gonna watch it. This is like the second random episode out of the series. There's 3 random episodes. I might call them random episode A, B, and C. That's what I have them labeled as right now, and it kind of fits, you know? But I just know there's, again, more videos in here on racism. I know that's what I'm looking at. Let's see. Anything else? Ooh, definitely homophobia. And then some random clips that I have no idea why I hit the record button. But I'm sure it's important and it's going to agitate both of us. So let's watch, shall we? Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be a little interesting question. So you have the ability to hire people, yes?
Well, not right now.
Okay, well, if you did.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a leadership position open. You have 2 men that are applying. One is a lot more masculine, and the other one is a lot more feminine. Mm-hmm. Which one would you hire?
The one most qualified.
Okay. All right.
So to answer, so let me give you a sense.
What if they had the same qualifications?
So then even if they had the same qualifications, somebody's going to be different than the other.
Okay.
So to give you some examples. So this is a list of the people I've hired.
Notice how A, I didn't ask, and B, all of the things he's about to list all have to do with race and sexuality. I didn't bring those up. I said masculine and feminine just because I wanted to see I think what my goal here was to get him to say something about gay people, which is a little savage on my part, but it also could have just been just to be like, because this was like somewhere midway after all of the racism and like between the racism and the homophobia, all of that stuff. So I think I was also trying to like get all the broad spectrums if I wanted to see, I guess, if he cared more for masculine people than he did feminine, which sounds really strange, but it does kind of apply, sort of.
Okay. In the leadership.
Okay.
In Sarasota.
Okay.
Hispanic. A white Hispanic, I guess, but who happened to be pregnant when I hired her.
Okay.
The reason why I mention that is most people won't hire
a pregnant woman.
A pregnant woman.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay.
In Darden Center, Dennis, of course, I hired him. He's gay.
Okay.
Again, white.
All right.
Okay. Then I didn't hire Rhonda. Rhonda works for me. She's African American. Matter of fact, probably 75% of my contact center is African American.
Okay.
The person I did hire in there, the 2 leaders that I hired in the contact center that I hired. One is an Hispanic female, and the other one's an Hispanic male.
Okay.
Since I've been there. Sean, I promoted to the manager's job in New Tampa. No, St. Pete. And he'd been with us for some time. Mm-hmm. He used to be my assistant manager when I was branch manager. Then Megan, who everyone said, who my boss and others said, don't promote her, she won't succeed. I promoted her.
Why?
No,
why they tell her?
Because they thought she used to work for another manager who was horrific. And so some of that see, when you have a manager and assistant manager,
Mm-hmm.
so she used to see things too black and white because he did.
Yeah.
Meaning, you wouldn't give people any grace. And so, anyway, so I hired her as a manager in New Tampa.
Okay.
And she's extremely successful. Then I hired an assistant branch manager who happens to be a Hispanic woman. I hired a retail lead for the Marshall Center who happens to be a Hispanic woman. And then I hired the manager in Maine. I actually hired two. I hired a guy, and he got promoted to another position. He became the mortgage manager. And I promoted, and then I hired a woman from the bank, and she's white, Anglo-Saxon, Protestant, whatever. So in other words, she's she's not, other than being a female, she's really not a minority. So most of the people I've promoted, over half of the people I've promoted have been minorities. So. But the whole point for me is when I was hiring, I didn't care whether they're gay or not gay. I didn't care whether they're black or not black. I didn't care whether they're Hispanic or not Hispanic. What I was looking for is the best qualified person, because the reality is when you're a leader, the best people that you can hire, the most qualified that you believe is, and it's not just qualifications, because you can have all the qualifications in the world and have no drive. And so I look for people that have a drive, who want to succeed. Because what happens is you hire those type of people, it makes my job a lot easier. So like Sarasota, I have a few issues there, but not a lot.
Truth be told, there was nothing really to say on that one. I'm keeping it in. But I am glad for myself for only interrupting once. So yeah, T. These next clips, I believe the next two, was right after I came back from a protest. And I sparked conversation with my parents and my sister who were sitting in the hot tub. This time you're actually gonna see them. I'm gonna pump up the volume and hopefully you can hear what I'm saying, and hopefully I narrate good enough for you guys to hear what they're saying, because there's a cement wall between me and my parents, but it's through a window. You get it, you'll see. Let's maybe catch them being racist? I don't know. Oh, I'm trying to catch them being racist on camera. Just in case you didn't hear that, my dad just said in 2019 more people died of bee stings. Huh? Get me out of this house, please. So it's really difficult to hear them in these videos, but I'm keeping them in just in case you have supersonic hearing and you can hear them. I pumped the volume all the way up to literally 400%. And it's still really hard to hear. You can hear some things that he says, like you can hear 2019, you can hear like B and whatever, and that's why I explained it at the end. I think if the next clip, like I'm watching these with you guys, so like I haven't even watched the next clip yet. If the next clip, I can barely hear them, I'm gonna cut some things in and out. But I think my narration, I think I start to realize I should narrate, so I start to narrate more. So let's see if that's the tea. If not, again, some things will be cut. My mom just asked why George Floyd was on the ground in the first place. So she doesn't know that information. Then my dad tried to tell her, I think it's because he was jogging, which is Ahmaud Arbery. We all know that. So I'm just literally peeping because, like, I'm not going to sit out there and just pretend like I don't believe what I believe anymore. I'm sick and tired of other people telling me what to believe, and obviously these are the people that raised me and they taught me what to believe, and it hurts, you guys. But I'm documenting this because when you grow up, as unfortunate as it is, do not let anybody ever tell you that you will stick with the same family your entire life. God willing, let's hope you do, because family's everything. But sometimes you have to break yourself, and this is it. This is that moment. I'm not going to sit here and educate anymore and try, because my sister's ignorant. My parents are a lot of words, one of them racist, and are still talking about it, and I get to choose my own family from now on. And when I move, I hope people are willing to have me in their village, because I need a family and I want to be taken care of, because this is beyond ridiculous. I just can't. This right here, why am I moving so much? I'm sorry. So this right here, I'm just like, I'm trying to stay, first of all, postured, and second of all, not stressed. I don't know what that was. Ew. So, if you guys could hear from that last clip, great. If you couldn't, neither could I. I just know it was a bunch about, here's some statistics that are white statistics that white people use, that are stupid and a very small sample size. You know, like how many black people were killed in 2019 from white. Anyways, that all lives matter. That stuff. I don't really need to get into it. We've been through this in this series already. So that was what the entire conversation was about. So if you could hear it, great, good for you. If you couldn't, not really super necessary. Okay, hi, I'm in a different place, different time, a lot more emotional, a lot less energized. This clip you're about to watch has something to do with race. I have no idea what the facts are. I definitely know that I was wrong and they were wrong, so.
Police officers don't kill people.
That's a very high statistic that is very incorrect.
Okay, 98%.
That I'm sure it's more like 60-40.
How many? No way.
That can't be.
That's
Maybe 80-20, but it's lower than 90. You can't Google it.
Let's see. What
You
is it?
cannot Google it. And you know what it's gonna come up?
I don't know about
A statistic where the sample size is about 100 cops.
We'll see. Well, even if it's 100 cops, that gives you a good percentage because
No, it doesn't.
2 out of 100, then that's 98%.
No, the world is different
Yeah,
than
it is
that. The world is different than that.
Yeah. Because you gotta look at how
Well,
many.
here's the thing. They should be all the same.
Approximately how many police officers are there in the United States?
Here's a summary from National Law Enforcement.
300,000.
There are more than 800,000 sworn law enforcement officers now serving in the United States.
I bet you 80 out of 20.
And of that, only 0.25, so only less than about a quarter of 1%
Thanks.
are police officers. No, that's not.
What? You just said there were 800,000 police officers.
Yeah, they're saying that's a quarter of.
A quarter of what?
20. It's 1 out of every 400 people is a police officer.
Oh.
So let's see something.
So 1 out of 400 people are bad.
You're right.
I'm just
So
I really wish I could tell y'all what we're arguing about. But quite frankly, I don't remember. I think this is like a clip from a different argument that wasn't necessary to record. So I only recorded this little bit. I have no idea. Zero idea what we were talking about. But if we're talking about how many bad cops there are, then if there's 890,000 bad cops in the 890,000 cops in the United States, there's 320 million people living in the United States, and 1 out of every 400 cops are bad, then that leaves 2,225 cops that are bad. So there's still over 2,000 cops that are bad. So regardless of what we were talking about, that number shouldn't even exist. So there's that for you. Next stuff that's happening though, you can hear clearly, which I wish you couldn't. But this clip is me sitting in an Olive Garden. I wish I was joking. Me sitting in an Olive Garden. And somehow we got into conversation about TV shows and gay people. And my parents, if you heard it I think it was the 5th episode, I believe it was 5. Skip kisses by gay people on television. Anything they can to avoid anything, they avoid it. Because it's a lifestyle. Anyways, I was pressuring my mom to answer the damn question, and she wouldn't, and then eventually it just popped off. It's a very short clip, but it's kind of incredible. I kind of live for it. I also want to state that, in this video, my sister who's sitting right next to me tries to defend, not defend either one of us, but she didn't let me tell the question. And she was trying to say, nobody should kiss on TV, when I was really just trying to instigate the scenario and get the answer out of my mother, because homophobic.
They say in the beginning.
No, can I have a conversation? I asked you a question.
Why does he always want an answer from me?
Because I asked you a question. Because you said something, so I asked you a question. Why would I not like the answer?
What was the question?
I asked
My
her.
answer
I didn't ask you, did I?
Is the scene
I didn't ask you.
From Midsummer.
I didn't ask you.
that scene should never be seen by nobody. What was the question?
I asked her what she doesn't think belongs on TV.
I don't want to see nobody kiss. Like, band kissing.
I didn't ask you.
No one should kiss on TV. Nobody. Not even on the Disney Channel. No.
As far as you can tell in this clip, which is one of my favorites that I've recorded this far. Like I said, I was in an Olive Garden having a conversation with my parents about gay men kissing. We were talking about something. It came up. It was relevant in the time. I don't remember specifically what we were talking about, but yeah, that was the blatant homophobia for you again. Once again, forever and always, it's there. I know the end of this is very low energy. I would be lying if I didn't have something to say. So I'm gonna put it in here. I don't want my parents to die. I said that before. I don't want my parents to die. I want them to trip on a banana. They've hurt me, and this is just truth. If it hurts them, if it hurts other people, then that's not my problem. I'm only speaking my story. I'm only speaking my truth. I'm sorry if any of this offends you. It's not your story. It shouldn't offend you. It should make you mad. It should make you want to confront the people in this video to make them better people. But it's not me. This is my story. This is my truth. It's not about other people. It's about me. But my parents have COVID. And my mom, as of today, hence the low energy, does not remember who I am. My dad is getting discharged today. My mom's getting an MRI from a neurologist, and I'll know more about that at a later date. Or I might know today, but obviously you guys won't know until probably the next video. Maybe I'll update you guys. But that's what's happening. Regardless, I don't like them. I don't hate them, but I don't like them. What they did to me is just unspeakable right now, and it just sucks. Being in a moral dilemma, being in this situation, it sucks, but I know that hopefully they'll pull through, and maybe it'll be a light to them. So yeah, anyways, remember, it all starts with an idea. Dream big, guys.